Welcome back to the live stage at Emerald City Comicon. My name is Mike Avila with SYFY WIRE. And it's day 4 and it's Sunday, and Sundays are always better at a con, especially when you get to talk to two cool people like our guests here from DC's newest installment from Wonder Comics, their cool new imprint, artist Steven Byrne.
Hello.
Writer Mark Russell of
Hi.
the Wonder Twins. I kind of made that seem like you guys are the Wonder Twins, so I guess you guys
that's
should do
how
the
we like to
super-
refer to each other now.
Activate the powers? Sure. It's early. It's still early for me. Mark, Stephen, we talked about this book the other day at a panel here. And one of the things you said that was interesting, Mark, is that you approached this comic as a post-millennial metaphor. Explain that.
Well, there are two people from another world who are brought to this planet and see its dysfunction firsthand, and then are somehow expected to fix it, which I think is a perfect metaphor for the post-millennial generation. We're handing off a planet that's on the verge of ecological collapse and unprecedented inequality and social problems. And it's like, here, kids, have fun. And I think that's kind of the position that the Wonder Twins are in. It's like they come from this utopian planet of Exor, and they're dumped on Earth. And the Hall of Justice is like, here, kids, have fun.
But, you know, what's interesting is, I bet you there were a lot of fans when they heard, what? They're making a Wonder Twins comic? Yes, awesome. But then you have to think, a big part of the audience is very familiar with the characters from the Super Friends cartoon, right? And also the comic book adaptation of that original series. But how do you balance the expectations of those fans with what you want to do with the characters in your story?
Well, personally, I just kind of do what I want to do, what seems right to me, and I just hope people come along for the ride. But I can't really, I'm not smart enough to be calculated. I don't really try to think, oh, what does this person want? What does that person want? Because then you just sort of end up disappointing everybody. I'd rather just disappoint the people who aren't into what I did anyway. Just do what makes sense to me, and then just hope that there's enough people to come along for the ride.
Yeah, go ahead, Steve.
And character design-wise, I guess I sort of split the difference between what was going on and the looks that they had and the style that they had in the Super Friends cartoons in the 70s, and then sort of what you would expect from a modern DC comic. I mean, if you look at all those designs of the Justice League from the Super Friends cartoon, they haven't changed that much. Like, Superman's still wearing the same outfit. Batman's more or less wearing the same outfit. Aquaman maybe has gotten, his armor's gotten a bit more gold than orange, but...
He's gained and lost and gained an arm.
Yeah. And
Sometimes it's made of water.
Sometimes. And so, yeah, with the Wonder Twins, I was like, I'm not going to change this up too much. They're still wearing their purple jumpsuits, but they just have a little bit more of a modern, cool factor to the designs.
Oh, you had some design fun while you were working in the costumes. You didn't just go right to that.
Oh, yeah,
Tell
yeah.
me about some of the rejected designs.
Well, we did. I just tried lots of different stuff out, and some of them, they had like leather jackets and stuff, and it was all a bit too cool. And I think for the Wonder Twins, you want to make sure that they maintain that sort of, we're slightly outsiders, we're slightly dorky vibe, so that's why we ended up with the purple jumpsuits.
You say dealing with humiliation is a big theme of this book, Mark.
It was a big theme of my childhood.
How much of that? But talk about how you weave that in, because you draw often from personal experiences into your stories.
Yeah, and I think one of the things I wanted to accomplish with the Wonder Twins is to be this is like a letter I would have sent to myself when I was 16 years old. This is what I want the kids who are going through the same things I went through to understand. And one of those things is like, don't worry about humiliation too much, because you're still, being a teenager is sort of like being on the job training for being a human being. So you're gonna make mistakes and you're gonna embarrass yourself. But the one thing I think I lacked back then that I want people to have at that age is perspective. It's not the end of the world. In fact, it's just the beginning of the world. You're going to graduate in a couple of years. You're probably not going to know most of these people in a few years. So don't feel like anything you've done is too cataclysmically wrong, and let that be liberating. Feel free to take a chance on a style. Be yourself, because there's no real risk at that point, because you're all going to go your own separate ways anyway.
Let's talk about some of the characters you guys are bringing into the series as it's ongoing. I think you guys are up to issue 3 now. Yeah, issue 3.
Issue 3 comes out in April.
Right, April 3rd, I
Yeah.
believe. Talk about some of the characters from the DC universe that you're going to bring in. I mean, I think Beast Boy is a perfect complement to Zan and Jaina.
Oh yeah, because I can talk about shape-shifting. And, you know, he's an animal shapeshifter like Jaina. And then, like, you know, him and Zan are talking shop at one point, and Zan talks about the time he accidentally shapeshifted in his sleep and became a cloud of steam while camping with a bunch of other kids. And then, like, Beast Boy has the same problem where he accidentally not only shapeshifts on accident in his sleep, but then he also sleepwalks, which is a problem because he will turn into a tarantula and then just wander around the house. And you'll find him in the spatula drawer, this tarantula. So like kind of, you know, there's these moments where they, you know, people can just kind of talk about the things they have in common.
Yeah,
and they don't have to necessarily be good things.
And not only can they learn from Beast Boy, but Beast Boy learns from them because they come in with a completely fresh perspective about all the stuff that he takes for granted in the DC universe, and they're looking at it from that outsider perspective. So it's sort of a two-way relationship.
Talk about some of the things you enjoy illustrating from the scripts. Interesting fact that I learned here at the con, you guys met for the first time in person here at Emerald City Comicon.
That's
on Thursday.
correct.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty common in comic book circles. You can, I mean, there's people that I've collaborated with. Tom Taylor, who I did Justice League Power Rangers, I still haven't met him. We've done some Skype calls, but I still haven't met him in person. He lives in Australia, so it's just something that I'm kind of used to. But it's, I don't know, it's unique because your focus then is all on the work, and you can communicate a lot via email.
What are the fun things about illustrating the Wonder Twins that really makes you enjoy this assignment, aside from the paycheck?
It's Mark's brain is insane, and he just comes up with all sorts of randomness. So every issue has so many different things going on. I can go from drawing a monkey riding a bicycle to a giant gorilla punching an alcoholic vampire. I really love the League of Annoyance. They're the sort of lame farm team for the Legion of Doom, where the not so hot supervillains hang out, and it's really fun designing these guys that sort of think of themselves as supervillains but are almost a dorky counterpart to the Wonder Twins.
Yeah, the League of Annoyance is kind of all supervillains who are in decline. You can't really call them supervillains; they're just villains, but they're all kind of on the downward slope of their career. Whereas the Wonder Twins are in training; they're just learning how to become superheroes. So it's really about the potential meeting decline, because you know so many comics are about like heroes and villains at the prime of their life, the top of their abilities, but most of our lives are spent either on the slope up or the slope down. So I want to do something about the other, 90% of our lives.
One of the League of Annoyance is just a woman with a cell phone, and I still don't know what her deal is.
All will be revealed.
She's just sitting there holding a cell phone in all the scenes, and I'm excited to find out what happens. But yeah, that's the level of villain we're talking about.
Spoiler alert! It is a piece of stolen Kryptonian technology.
Ooh.
It's a Kryptonian cell phone.
Ooh, very
Heard it
nice.
here first.
Are you bringing in any characters that the diehard fans may remember from the Super Friends series that
Like this refrigerator's for Earth-based snacks only, because you don't want an alien fruit, living fruit or organisms in the fridge next to your meatloaf, because something awry could happen.
I do love the fact that you've once again found this really great tone for the book, where you're celebrating these characters, you're having fun with them, but you're not poking fun at them.
No, I always try to approach whatever characters I'm writing like as seriously as they would themselves. It's like they're the center point of their own universe, as are we all. And I think once you take a character as seriously as they take themselves, their story and their worldview really opens up.
Before we leave, I did want to say congratulations on finding a new home for Second Coming.
Oh, thank you.
That'll be coming out. When will it be?
It'll be coming out July 10th through from Ahoy Comics.
And it's going to outrage all those people that were outraged before all over again.
All the people who are never going to read it anyway will be outraged.
Well, congrats, because I know that story was something that meant a lot to you, and you wanted to get it out there, so congrats. And congrats on the Wonder Twins. Steven Byrne and Mark Russell, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
All right. Don't forget, keep following us at hashtag ECCC and hashtag It's a Fan Thing. And coming up next here on the live stage, Johnny Cruz on voice acting for Overwatch, Hitman.